The law offices of Ron Scholes presents Miller on Sports, the only sports show that keeps you glued to your seat. Everything else is just talk. Now, here's your host, Richard Miller.
Oh, it's another beautiful, wonderful day to be alive in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. Welcome on in. This is Miller on Sports right here on Talk Radio 600 WBOB. Always brought to you by the law offices of Ron Scholes, a law firm of military veterans fighting for you. Check them out at YouHurtWeFight.com. Donovin Darius, former Jacksonville Jaguar safety, joins the program. How you doing, Donovan?
I'm doing pretty well, Richard, and yourself?
Excellent. Life is good. And Donovan, I want to start off with, you are my all-time favorite Jaguar. The only Jaguars jersey I've ever owned is number 20.
Okay, you don't have to give me a receipt for that.
All right.
I did not pay him to say that, but I appreciate the compliment.
All right. You'll take it. And you had some camps last weekend for My Next Level Training, the website, mynextleveltraining.com. You had them here in Jacksonville. How did those go?
You know, they went fantastic, man. One thing about it, when I was with Jacksonville, I've always wanted to make an emphasis, to allow as many people as I can to enjoy the experience. You know, the experience of me in the NFL and the platform that it provides. And so last week we had two camps. One was free for high school athletes, football players from 10 to 3, and another one for youth age kids, 7 to 13. It was a speed and agility clinic, and it was all free. Again, it was just the techniques, the fundamentals, the life talk, everything is being poured out. So we had tremendous success, had a lot of people show up, great volunteers from all across the city, and so it turned out great.
And how different is it dealing with the youth, say, ages 8 to about 14, and then the high school age, then collegiate ages? Is there that much of a difference? How do you work around that? Well,
basically, I have 4 children myself, and so you get a lot of practice at it. But you just understand that just from a skill level, these athletes, they only can retain so much. And so you give them for youth age, you understand it has to be applicable, but it also has to be fun. It can be something that they can enjoy, and you got to keep it simple. When you get to the high school and the collegiate age, their motor learning skills are a lot better. Their coordination is a lot better. Matter of fact, their determination to succeed and to compete is a lot stronger. And so you can gear things to that way. And then when you get to the competitive level, it's your job. Everything is at the highest level. And so, 6 inches left or 6 inches right to the right could be the difference between good and great. So every area, every level is different, and you just have to strategically focus and plan it that way.
Now, do you feel like you're a natural coach, or are you still learning everything that you were taught back during your NFL days?
Well, it's a little bit of both. When I went to Syracuse, I graduated in exercise science and coaching. And even when I played, my heart was always to teach. The blessings the gifts that God has given me was encouragement and teaching. And it doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing, I'm always trying to teach, always trying to help another person. And so, I would consider myself a natural teacher because I operate in that the best. And the way I know I'm doing a good job or not is basically if someone can, get it, apply it, build their confidence, and go out and then pass it on.
We're talking with Donovin Darius, former Jaguars safety, right here on Miller on Sports. His camp's My Next Level Training, the website mynextleveltraining.com. Had 2 camps in Jacksonville last weekend. I know you have a few planned in late July in California. Any other plans for Jacksonville down the road?
Almost definitely. Once we get into the month of August, I'm joining up with a couple organizations in Jacksonville, one of them being I-9 Sports, which is a youth organization, looking to also join up possibly and get in contact with Upward Bound. Youth organizations, and where that's kind of a moment where they're getting ready for their season, fundamental techniques, the whole mind, body, and soul development is in full-fledged, getting ready to kick off another school year and another season. And so I'll be looking to do some stuff, me and my team, come in August. We're in the process of planning that stuff now, as well as some high school clinics and some high school camps. So you guys can continue to stay posted on the website, and then now that I have your number, I always have my assistant, shoot you guys some information so you guys be up abreast and we can have a heads-up notice.
Excellent. I look forward to it. Well, Donovan, I'm sure you've been asked many times, friends, family, cohorts, about the NFL lockout. Is this frustrating for you?
No, for me it's not. I was fortunate while I was playing. I was 8 years as a player rep, and then 4 years as executive committee member. So I was here. I was on, the member when we went through the whole 2006 CBA extension. I remember the last minute ditch effort by the owners to get a deal signed, and even through the hiring of DeMaurice Smith, the executive director. So one thing we always knew, that it is a business, and there's a lot of money on the table. Understanding that this is not strike. It's just basically a lot of money out there, and people are trying to divide it up, for what's best for them. So it's not frustrating for me, but I know that they're gonna work it out somehow.
And during your 9 years in Jacksonville, you were known as a workout warrior during your NFL career. I'm sure it's tapered off just a little bit, but do you still hit the gym just as hard?
Well, I do. I mean, it does taper off a little bit, Rich. I always was like, when I finished playing, I was like, well, why am I working out again? Why am I doing power cleans? Why am I squatting? Why am I, jumping on boxes? I mean, it's only because I'm used to doing that, but I know it works. I know it works faster than a lot of the other stuff. So I still got to do it too, man. I got to represent the brand. The brand is, Donovin Darius, and what I like to bring to the table and help and develop other people. So I still got to stay at it, but I just don't have to go out there and hit anybody.
All right. Donovin Darius, former Jaguar safety, right here on Miller on Sports. And Donovin, are you still sporting the very large biceps? Because we all remember you at Alltel Stadium. You'd make a tackle or a hit, and we'd see those biceps. Are they still there?
Well, I mean, I guess so, man. I'm still working. I'm weight-wise, I'm, of course, still same height. I'm probably about 2 pounds over what I played, and so everything is still good, man. I was blessed, with body, and I was blessed, through all the injuries and all that stuff, to get healed and come back. So I try to take care of myself the best I can and then pass that on as well.
And we saw a lot during the 2010 season, a lot of this protecting of wide receivers, defenseless players. What are your thoughts on hitting like that? Because you were a safety that was known for big hits. We all remember that hit in 2004 against Green Bay. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if I could put it bluntly, I think it's kind of whack, really. And what I mean is it takes away from the integrity of the game. On one hand, I can understand as far as trying to protect the player's safety. But one of the basic fundamentals of football is catching, blocking, and tackling. And in order for you to properly tackle, you have to have your body, your head, everything in a certain position to do that. So when you start trying to implement rules to manipulate, the very, movement of your body, for example, if they're saying they don't want you to strike with your head and you got to move it to the side, well, when you move your head to the side, your body goes with it. So then what happens on the other end of that? The negative effect is you start blowing out your shoulders because now you're making arm tackles, you're missing tackles, the integrity of your play different. When I played, I was always taught to hit with the crown of your head and not the top, but the crown. See what you hit. So that way your body protects you, your neck protects you, your shoulders protect, everything supports that type of impact. And then your head will automatically move. So, of course, you bring your arms. So I think, again, in their effort of trying to protect the game is being, those rules are being implemented by people that never really played at the highest level.
Very interesting. And Donovin, last question real quick before we go to break. Do you feel like we're going to have the NFL come 2011? When do you foresee this happening?
I think they're going to have something this year. I think it's too much money out there. It's too many people that's hinging on just the entertainment of the game itself. And so if they did not do this is my guess. I haven't heard this specifically out of anyone's mouth, but my guess is that they will have something this year. It may be something that's contingent on coming back again next year. And so even if it was something that started like in the middle of the season at the latest, I believe they're going to have something. And then again, they'll just kind of resurface again when the season is over. So I just say to all the fans, continue to hold on. It's unfortunate, that you got people, the greedy business of money, and that's what it makes people do. But bear with it and be patient. Go out in the park, go in the yard, take your son or your daughter or something, throw the ball around and get from in front of the TV.
There we go. Donovin Darius, former Jaguar safety. Check out his website, mynextleveltraining.com. It's My Next Level Training. He'll be back in Jacksonville, hopefully very soon, come August. Donovin, it was a pleasure, and we'll talk very soon.
Thanks, Miller.
All right.
Buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Donovin Darius, what a pleasure. A lot of fun. Former Jaguar safety. It's the only Jags jersey I've ever worn. I thought I'd just throw that out there. Just something. It's one of maybe 6 jerseys I've ever owned. Check it out, mynextleveltraining.com. He'll be in Jacksonville come August. Coming up, we'll talk some tennis. We'll talk a little bit of golf and much more. Right here on Miller on Sports, always on Talk Radio 600. WBOB. You're listening to Talk Radio 600 WBOB, Jacksonville's home for NASCAR.
Intercepted FSU! Touchdown FSU!
And Florida State football.